Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's video in which we are going to look at legendary items, a legendary opening, the Nimzo Indian, presented to you by an iconic chess streamer, Chessbrah, Grandmaster Eric Hansen. Let's dive in. The opponent is Indian Grandmaster Vidit, and as I said, the opening is the Nimzo Indian, and in the Nimzo Indian, a very popular line, the F3 variation, which has been tested on top level even by the greatest, including Magnus Carlsen. Speaking of Carlsen, he also played this on the black side and played c5 against Nakamura, for example, and scored a nice victory with that. This structure leads to what is commonly known amongst chess players as the Benoni pawn structure, because this opening, or rather, sorry, this pawn formation usually occurs from the following opening called the Benoni Defence: e6, knight c3, c5, d5, take, d6, e4, g6, f3, and bishop g7. f3 is obviously already a variation of the Benoni. There are many other moves, but I want to show you how this compares best to our current game. And the best comparison to be drawn is that the black bishop is on b4, and it doesn't stand as well on b4 than on g7, but the upside is that it went to b4 in one move, whereas going to g7 costs 2, so black is going to be obviously a little bit more ahead in development compared to Benoni lines. If you would like to explore more about this formation, by the way, my Guess the Opening series features the Benoni structure, so I recommend you to check that video out later if you would like to learn more about the specific plans and strategies associated with this pawn formation. Rook e8, knight g3, knight d7, and knight e5 concurring the center. Very logical, crystal clear play by both sides. a6. Now this is a move that introduces the plan b5, very specific to the Benoni, where achieving this b5 push usually allows black plenty of counterplay on the queen side, and almost always it gets shut down by a4. Interestingly, Vidit decided not to do that and continued developing. Mind you, b5 here is significantly less effective than it would be if the bishop was developed to the long diagonal, because then after b5 the pawn could roll on with b4, potentially finding a target on b2. Here Chessbrah instead pulled back to g6. The idea behind this mysterious retreat is not that mysterious. He wants to stop f4, which now can be met by taking on c3 and then taking e4. It's very important not only to focus on our intentions, what we want to do, but also to recognize what our opponent wants to do and how we can stop or at least delay their plan to unfold as well. So knight g6, a3, bishop back. We don't want to trade bishop for knight unless it's definitely beneficial to us, and it's not now. b5, b4, and bishop b6. At this point, I would like to highlight that if you look at the white pawn formation, you realize that the black bishop is like fish in the water, and the white bishop is not really a great customer. Therefore, trading these two bishops would yield black beautiful control of these tender dark squares, and this is now a very valid and fundamentally sound strategy to pursue, to trade off the bishop and see where we can take it from there. Having said that, there is no hurry about that, and instead now Eric decides to gain more space, and he wants to gain even more control of the dark squares. This is typically a move that most club level players and even above would not even consider, let alone play, because it's weakening and it exposes the king, yada yada yada. Neither of them is really true. The king is not really exposed to any attack, and in fact the discomfort caused by the advancement of this pawn is significantly more felt around the white king much rather than the black one. Knight back, bishop d7, knight f2, a very typical operation in similar Benoni setups. The knight beautifully guards this pawn here, which it did from g3 too, but there it was always facing this bush. Yeah, there are various ways how it can join the fray from f2. Rook c8, king h1, queen c7, logical developing moves. Now there is pressure on the c3 knight as well. Rook b c1 and queen a7, increasing the firepower on this very important diagonal, and again hinting that the trade of the dark squared bishop is definitely something that black is genuinely interested in doing. Knight fd1. It's very apparent that white is struggling to find a plan, which is never a good thing in a dynamic middle game scenario. Rook c7. The idea, of course, is to double up. Bishop f2. And just to contradict me entirely, h4. Gaining space, as per mentioned before, on the king side. Preparing... Whoa, 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 what have I done? No, 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 I didn't mean to do that. Don't do that, please, computer. I don't know how I did that. That's my special talent. So the plan is to come in here, come in here, come in here, and invade the dark squares. Now Vidit here, sensing that he's losing the momentum of the game, that he's slipping away from him, he tried to change the character of the position by taking on c5. And in general, by the way, when you are in a negative trend in a game, it's a very good idea to try to change the tendencies of the game, even if it comes with certain risks. The main risk here is that the dark squared bishop will be traded off, after which these previously mentioned squares will all be a lot weaker than before. Knight a2, rook c8. By the way, crystal clear play. Beautifully clean, logical, just ultimate play by Eric. When you watch the game, as I'm playing out the moves, I haven't played a single move where you would have gone like, I would have never thought about that one. It's just so clean. It's develop, central control, put your rooks on the open file, claim the open file, put pressure on, and just, yeah, good, very, very good, very solid chess. Rook c2, queen a5. Now, there is a lot of pressure here on c3, and Chessbrah is going to combine it beautifully with some king side intentions. Knight h5 is already suggesting knight jumps towards the king that are quite uncomfortable. And indeed, after rook d1, knight f4, now it feels like black is invading the board in every possible department. Queen side, king side. It's looking really, really dire for white indeed. Queen d8 was played, and after knight b4 here, actually Eric missed a beautiful tactic. And since I'm doing educational videos, if you want, you can pause the video here and figure out what the tactic was that he missed. I'm going to show you. Actually, no, I will show you how the game ended first. Eric played queen f6, hitting the knight. The knight went back, and after rook takes knight g3 check, Vidit realized that it's either going to be a beautiful checkmate down here, or it's going to be see you later relegated to the queen, and so he called it a day there. And now as for the tactic, what was missed here by Eric, he already could have taken c3, and after take, and take, rinse and repeat, knight g3, and the queen went from c1 to c3, ironically still walking into this check, whereas after take, once again, the checkmate story cannot be stopped. An absolutely fantastic, very clean, very well played game by Eric Hansen Chessbrah. Kudos to the streamers. And before I call it a day, let's just take a very quick look at the standing, because now we are done with the round robin part of the tournament, and now we are moving on to the knockout stages. So let's have a very quick look. So leader in this tournament at the moment is Grandmaster Lee Kuan Liam from Vietnam, followed by Maggie Jordan, and to my surprise, David Anton easily going through in 4th place, followed by the ever so consistent Jan Krzysztof Duda, Dingliren, and the other slight surprise for me at least is the excellent performance of yet another American streamer, Hans Niemann, in 7th place, and David Navarre managed to slip through with a better tiebreak on the 8th place. Unfortunately for me, as a Hungarian Grandmaster Rapport, did not make it, neither did Pragnananda. So yeah, we are looking to have a look at some exciting matches in the knockout stage, which continues tomorrow, as do my recap videos. Don't forget to like, to sub, to comment, and I will be back with more. Thanks for watching. Bye.